Hi everyone, Sean back from the Sci-Fi Model Guy, and welcome back to the USS Voyager 1000 scale build. And this is going to be chapter 4 of the build. So we're going to keep this video a little shorter. I'm trying to keep these things under 20 minutes, seeing how that works out. Hopefully everyone out there is appreciating a little bit shorter videos, but I do know I need to get them out more frequently. So I'm really going to be trying to get these out at least once a week, if not every 4 or 5 days if I can. So I'll just give you a quick show right here. The ship is mostly done. I've got most of the decal work done on it, and she's looking really great. And so you're going to see a lot of ugliness in this video, but I promise you it will turn out a lot nicer than what you're going to see. The decals are a pain. I've mostly done. There are tons of decals on this, a lot of little ones. Some of them are actually just too small for me to be able to do, but it is turning out really well. I probably spent about 4.5 hours on the decals, and you can see I still have quite a bit to do there. So it can get tedious putting on these decals, but each one that you put on, the closer the ship comes to completion, the better it feels. But anyway, again, short video, you guys, and we will be back in a few days. I think I'm out of content now. I've got like one more video of the stuff I had recorded months ago, so we're down to where I'm actually recording stuff I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Okay, guys, that's it for this intro, and enjoy the video. All right, everyone, just a quick section here. I'm getting ready to close up the aft section of the ship, and that is part of step 3 right here. Now, I did have to do it a little bit out of order because we do have wires coming from the nacelles that we have to feed in here and put toward the bottom portion of the ship. So I had to kind of attach these in there. They just kind of clip on. They're not glued because I may decide I want to rotate these things upward. Probably won't. I just don't want to break anything and have these things flopping around. But anyway, we'll see about that. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show you this. So I did have to put the nacelles down. The wires are coming out here, and right in here in this area there, I did bore out some of this plastic styrene there to give some room for the wires, and everything's just kind of taped down and as much as I could bunched up right here. Again, it's a little bit messy, but these wires here from these LEDs are really long, and so you kind of have to deal with that and twist them around and wrap them to get there. But good news is the only windows on the bottom section are right here and over here, and they're going to be illuminated from the top down, so we can kind of have like a bit of a chunky mess down here, and that's not going to be a problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach some positive and negative wires to come out of the front here to meet with these other guys that are here, and then I will get ready to close the ship up. It's almost done here. So just wanted to show this part. And real quick, I did go ahead and I put a mask on all of the lights there. So there's the cell caps. You see the blue mask right here. And I did cover these chiller grills with mask. It doesn't look great here, but that's just because the mask is on there, because I'm going to have to go around and do a little bit more painting on here. I did pre-paint them, but I went ahead and just puttied the back, and that required some sanding, which laid bare some of this styrene there. So I'm going to have to do another quick coat of black over these parts. Not heavy. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but just in these corners there and right there where these seam lines are. Now, these seam lines aren't going to be perfect, so it's kind of a miss right there, like that front of that nacelle there for some reason just got that bit of an overlap. But if I keep sanding it, I'm going to mess it up. So I'm just going to leave it as is and take that as one of the small seam lines we're going to have to deal with and just live with. But anyway, oh, let's see, that thing popped out. So they're just kind of holding in there. So I'm going to put that back on, put the top here on there, and we'll be back here in a minute and show you our next steps. Okay, everybody, here it is. The ship is almost put together completely. I have finished putting the top part of the engineering section on, and everything is pretty much masked up and ready to be painted. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this section and this section separately, at least for the light blocking on the black on the top there and the bottom. And that should make it a little bit easier, so I don't have to worry about getting the black here on this part where the connection is made, because there's kind of a tight angle in there. So I'll go ahead and I'll tape this off here to make sure we don't get any paint on that, because this is where it's going to glue together. So we'll light block this part as soon as the glue's dry, because this part's glued on there, and then we should be good to go. Just a quick comment here on the masking. I did put some mask in here into these little vents there on all of the lights. There is some liquid mask going on in there so we don't get any paint, and I'll just pick that out. And again, the nacelles have been masked over. That's why it looks kind of funny right now. And that's it. The only other thing I'll mention right here is that when I put these together, the parts up front here did kind of want to separate, so I just used this tape. It's to me, I think is probably the best method to glue things together. You can use clamps, of course. I did put clamps on the back here because we got a nice flat surface to put these two pieces together, so I did clamp that. I'm going to do some putty work here to get rid of that line, and that should be it. But the initial light test is good. I don't see really much of any light leak coming through here, so I don't think I'm going to have to putty the side. And so as soon as this dries in a few hours here, I'll take the tape off. I'm probably going to have to reattach one of these photo etches there. You see that little guy right there? That's like a sensor photo etch. That's probably going to come off when I pull off the tape. But a little CA glue will take care of that. And then we'll be ready to go with the light blocking. But everything's looking good so far, and we'll just keep moving on. We'll see you in a second. All right, everybody, here we go. It is all masked, and the seam lines are puttied over as best as I could do. So right here, we've just cut some tape here to fit this shape here that's going to fit this dorsal part there of the saucer section. And just to call out on the instructions, this is supposed to be put in last. You're supposed to attach the saucer section to the main hull, and then this piece snaps in there afterward. But when I was taking a look at it, I thought, it would be easier to attach it here first, because then I was able to put some putty underneath. You can't see it here because there's going to be light coming up here. So I did do putty on the seam lines to make sure we don't get any light leaks through this seam. So that's putty. We're not going to get any light leaks coming out of this part here. I thought that might have been a concern. So I would rather have puttied it on the inside than out here, because this would be too hard to make seamless. And I think the ship, there actually are lines there on the show, on the filming model, that you would see that. So this is like a separate piece that would have been attached up there. So let's see, right here we got the putty work here. It doesn't look pretty there, but it should paint over pretty well. These were just that's where the putty found its home, and I sanded that down as well as I could. These little nooks in here, they were kind of hard to get into, so I used the sanding needle here. I got one of these so you can get into some fine bits there, and it should be okay. And just to call out, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I did make sure to put the mask in these little grills, because I don't want any paint getting in there on those pieces. And so, a little foresight there, and then also on the front edge here. Now, these lights when I light it up, they don't come out really brightly, but we should see some. Like when the lights are off and the ship's on, we should see it. So there's some there too. And then, of course, on these all these windows that we've talked about a few times. All right, well, that's it. I'm going to take this over to where I do the painting and just start it with very light coats of black. I'm going to try not to hit this with too much black, but I do need to get some in here in these crannies, right in there, because I did scrape away some of the paint. So I exposed, like right there on this little round part, you can see that's the clear styrene. I just don't want any light coming through there. And then also on the nacelle, had to do a little sanding there, so I got to tidy that up, put a little spritz of black there on the nacelles, and then finish that off with the final coat once the ship's together. But looking good. So we're going to light block these two pieces individually, top and bottom, and then we're going to connect it here, and we should be done. So I'll probably be back when the ship is assembled and painted. So we'll see you soon. Okay, everyone, here we are. The ship is mostly primed, and before I continue with the final coat of primer here, I did want to call out thing, and this is something we've talked about before, and that is your final coats of putty, or your final applications of the putty. So one of the things that putting primer does when you've done your initial putty work, and it might look really good until you prime it, and then you can see areas where you need to do a little spot repair, or do the more spot putty. So I'm going to call out right here. Let me see if we can zoom in, and you can see right here where these photo etch pieces are. You can see there's a little bit of a gap. You can kind of see where this is connected, and when I initially put these on, I couldn't see that. So what I'm getting at is the white primer that you put on will bring out shadows of little areas that you may not have seen. So there are a few bits here that I have to spot. So right here, if I can get my finger there, right about there, we need a little putty there, a little putty on the top there, and I can probably do that with a slurry, which is basically taking the putty and mixing it with some water to get it a little bit thinner. And one of the things I do is I will put it in one of my little handy bottles that we've talked about. This is probably gone. I probably have to mix up some more because it hardened up, I believe. Yeah, it's not liquid anymore. But you don't need very much water to thin this stuff out. And at least with the putty that I'm using here, which is the Perfect Plastic Putty, which is a very nice product because it cleans up nice with water. It gets in there and everything, and you can also water this down to get in some finer areas. So there's that. And then the other thing I want to call out here is I did wire everything up. All the wires came out, terminated out here, like we discussed, and I fed some the main wires to go through where the rod's going to go to hold the ship. And you can see here the deflector array. That's still black with the light block, and you can see here I've put the liquid mask over there so that when we spray it, I can just peel that off and the deflector array will stay that nice clear blue color, and I won't have to worry about painting the dish right there in the middle. And so that's going to be good. And that'll be the last, when I coat the whole bottom of the ship here. Let's zoom out as much as we can, and so you can see here we've got some overspray on the primer. I just did a little bit here on the underside. It still needs another coat or two to get, but I did leave this black, so I'll be priming that a little bit. Now when I did put this on, I did have to cut off the nubs. There's a few male and female pegs that make this snap on. I had to cut those off, and probably mainly because of the black primer that we put on there inside. And that was, you get some overspray on those pegs. Even a little bit of paint will make it so it doesn't fit. So I tried to file the paint off and everything, and it just wasn't going in. So I just snapped them off and just applied some, glue and a little bit of some model cement and some CA glue here to get that in. Now, when I did do that, there was a sizable gap, and I'll try to zoom in so that you can see that. Let's turn it this way. There we go. And let's get the pointer, and we'll zoom in here on the part so you can see right there. And this here is the dual part epoxy clay, and I'll bring that out in a second and show you what that product is. But I still have a little bit of a gap here. So there was like a sizable gap in between the deflector array here and the ship. So I had to fill that in with this epoxy putty kind of stuff that hardens in about 24 hours. So that it's really good. A viewer had recommended this to me, and I forget the name offhand, but man, what a tip that was. I ordered this stuff. It was about $14, $15, and boy, does it work, because it takes about 5 minutes to get to where you can work with it, and you can actually work with this stuff for about half an hour before it gets hard to deal with. So you can make as much or as little as you need, and it jams right in there. It hardens very hard. It's sandable, and so I put enough in there at least just to fill the gaps, and then I'm going to finish this off with some red spot putty to finish it off, or maybe the Perfect Plastic Putty. So I just need a little bit in there. That should fill in, but you can see here I had to, well, this is regular putty right there, so I might give another little coat there, and then the white or red here just to make this flush and nice. So I didn't extend it out all the way. I left a little bit of a gap there to top it off with the with the more easily the stuff I can more easily work with, the perfect plastic putty or the Bondo's spotting and glaze putty. It's right here, fill in your screen, and there we go. So I'll take care of that tomorrow. This is going to set overnight. I just want to make sure it gets nice and dry, and so that I can just put the other putty on the top and give this time to dry out and harden. So that's it. So for now, what I'm going to do is just find these little areas there. You can see the little gaps right here where the photo etch is, right in here and right there, just to clean that up a little bit, especially in this corner. That one kind of bent out a little bit, so I'll have to kind of finagle that. And then it'll be on to finish the primer. And after that, well, I'll come back and tell you about the painting scheme, because we're going to do this in the Tamiya light blue, but there are some areas here that I'm going to pre-paint, and those are like the recessed areas, like this little sensor area or whatever this thing is. So I'll be painting that a darker gray, and when that dries, I'll put the liquid mask over that, and so then I can paint the rest of the ship. So I'm going to paint the little highlight colors here and there where I can, and then mask what I can, and then give the final coat, and then peel that mask off, and we'll get nice even lines here. A little bit on this section, but that'll come later. I'm just giving you a little kind of taste of what we're going to be doing, and then after that, it'll be time to clear out all the windows and see how well that mask technique that we did worked. I'm hoping it should be fine, but I'll come back and show you what all the pre-painting of the different colors for the highlights are going to look like. I've got some plans for it. It should look pretty nice. Super happy with the build so far. The lights all work nice, and I'll be installing the nav board at the end in the base. That's why we've got 3 wires coming out here. We've got the positive, negative, and then the one light for the strobes. I'm only doing one frequency of flashing lights, and there's just 2 of them. One here on the belly and one up here on the bridge right there. Those are going to be the only 2 blinking lights as a strobe. Everything else is solid state, and that's it, folks. So we will come back, and we will have this. The next section here will be just the highlighted parts, and we'll keep going. And she's almost done, but the ship is fully assembled, and we'll talk more later. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate your time and your comments and likes and everything. Please send me emails if you can. I promise I will try to get better at reading them. I know I say that a lot, but I have been checking a little bit more often. I have responded to a couple people. So it's the sci-fi model guy at gmail.com. Shoot me a mail or message, like, comment, all that good stuff. See you down the road.